COVID, East Coast floods, rising fuel prices, and now Japanese encephalitis with the mozzies. But it's March and we're going. We're going to set off. So we're not going up the East Coast as we thought we may. We are now going to South Australia and to Peninsula. So we'll travel around there. First, we're going via Melbourne to see our family, who we haven't seen enough of over the last 2 years. So we're staying down there for a few days, and then we'll set off to South Australia. And then we're not likely to come home for a while. We've decided we'll go north to Darwin. Which way we'll come home, we haven't decided that far in advance. West to Perth, Western Australia, or east to Cairns. We don't know yet, but we're definitely going to South Australia. Well, we're off. The caravan's all hitched. We're all packed up. First of all, we're going down to Melbourne to see the family. Hooray!
Hooray! Yeah.
And then we'll stay overnight at Mornington for 3 nights, and then we'll go off on our travels.
On the big trip. Not a big lap. It's a half lap, I think, but the big trip. It's a very big trip for us, so we're looking forward to it. See you soon.
Bye.
Right, so it's March the 19th, Saturday.
Birthday, Pete Myers.
Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Alice Myers.
Happy birthday, Alice Myers. Rest in peace. So, Jill is making a special birthday breakfast.
Usual cereal.
Usual cereal. Anyhow, it's a beautiful day, and hopefully we'll be out for a coffee shortly, and then we'll give you some scores.
So we're still at Mornington Gardens, Caravan Park. This is our last night. We've had 4 great days with the family. It's now time to move on and start our journey. So tomorrow morning we'll get up early and catch the ferry from Sorrento to Queenscliff, and that'll cut a few miles off. And then we'll continue on to Warrnambool and stop a few nights there. So hopefully it's as nice a campsite as this one. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is the day that we were setting off on the big trip. We're actually on our way home.
Because the car battery was flat this morning. So I had to call out Land Rover Assist. And they did assist, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong, but they at least helped me get the car started. So we're on our way home, and I'm going to take the car into Land Rover Shepperton, or possibly even try and figure out myself what the problem is, and we'll see how we go.
But Mornington was a success. We did what we intended, which was to see Liam and Ivy and the family. Yes.
Yay! See you later.
See you later. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we've set off this morning with only one hitch, and that's the Caravan.
Yes, this is take 2 of our starting point for our big trip adventure. And we're on our way to Swan Hill. So it's a 275 kilometre drive from home. And hopefully we'll arrive sometime mid-afternoon after a lunch stop.
So we parked the Caravan, unhitched,
Rather quickly, I might add.
and went into town for a coffee.
And of course some photos. Jill always enjoys wandering around taking photos of new places.
Just thought I'd nip on the playground, there's no kids on. Oops, it's a bit low this swing though.
So this is Pentle Island Caravan Park, which is our first stop in Swan Hill. It's an absolutely gorgeous caravan site, $32 a night. As you can see, green grass, flat, lush, not that many people here.
Coffee time.
Oh, I don't do things anyway, guys.
Pete hasn't tasted his yet and I've nearly finished mine.
No, this is a definite 7.
Oh, he's giving it 7. I'm giving mine 9.
9? That's extravagant.
It's very nice, this coffee. Best one I've had for a long while.
Actually, this is very good as well. Actually, I've revised that to 8.
He's upped it to an 8. Ooh, must be good then. We had a great day at the Pioneer Settlement.
We spent all day there. It was a very hot day.
And we went back the next day actually.
So
as
yeah,
well.
we enjoyed it that much.
She was out there alone on the highway. She had a broken wing, she's trying to hide. And I was much too old to act on a feeling. But then again, I ain't never had someone to hold. I wrote songs for a mockingbird. Take 'em all, leave
Riversdale Cottage, typical of many early structures in the Mallee, was originally built at Mallan in New South Wales. It's a simple design with only 2 areas, one for sleeping and one for living. So let's go and have a look.
She made love to me under the stars. But now I'm sure it wasn't worth believing. 'Cause there ain't much room for love on a mountain of lads. I wrote songs for a mockingbird. Take 'em all, leave 'em, I know that she heard. Songs for a mockingbird. Looking at me, she sang every word. Songs for a mockingbird. Oh, how could you fake it? Is that what you were? Songs for a mockingbird. Oh. Someday soon she'll learn to fly. Songs for a mockingbird. You live and you learn. Songs for a mockingbird. Looking at me, she sang every word. Songs for a mockingbird. It was a mistake. That's what you were. Songs for a mockingbird.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Friday and we're having
Coffee.
hot chocolate for me, even though I said coffee yesterday and I scored coffee at 8. I meant chocolate 8 and this is chocolate 8. Are you still scoring high?
7 to 8 for my coffee this morning.
We're going to a museum this morning. Lake Boga.
Lake Boga.
Something to do with an aeroplane though.
That's the extent of Jill's knowledge, something to do with that.
And it's something to do with the war. World War II. Anyway, we'll catch you later.
Bye. Well, actually, Lake Boga is a museum and home to the Catalina flying aircraft. We discovered all this after spending a good afternoon there. Jill was fascinated by some of the machinery and the exhibitions and the clothes that people used to wear. Well, you enjoyed it, didn't you?
Yes, it was. I found it difficult to take the photographs though.
Yeah, it was. It was a bit bitty and there were things everywhere. But yeah, we had a good afternoon.
And we understood what it was about when we left. It was about the place where they repaired the aeroplanes that took off and landed on water for the World War II.
Well done, Jill.
World gets lonely when you got no one on your side. You gotta love one another, sister and brother, 'cause he won't let
Good morning.
Good morning.
Coffee in Robinvale. We've just had a couple of hours drive, which was very pleasant. It's passed very quickly with the help of Bruce.
Yeah, listening to old Bruce albums. Well, that was good.
My chocolate isn't as good as yesterday. We'll give it a 6.
Yeah, coffee wasn't as good either, so I'm giving it a 5.
It's about an hour away from Mildura, I think.
That's right, yeah.
We'll probably just walk round Robinvale and see if there's anything of interest here before we carry on.
I'll see you later.
See you later. So we've come to Wentworth. We've been here before. We've come to see the conjunction of the two rivers, the Darling and the Murray. This is where they join. The mighty Murray. There's boating on here, but not swimming or anything else. It's full of algae, unfortunately. But it doesn't distract from the beauty around this junction. Lots of beautiful gum trees around the river. You can see a slight difference in the rivers. The Darling River is the brown bit that's joining into the Murray, which is more of a grey colour. So we've come to the viewing tower. We've been here before. It's more obvious, the demarcation line between the dirty Darling River and the mighty Murray River. The Murray comes down from Queensland.
No, Darling comes down from Queensland.
Oh yeah, that's it. The Darling comes down from Queensland and the Murray spends all its time in Victoria, except for the last bit where it goes through South Australia to the sea. So we're leaving
Curlwar Caravan Park.
And we're on our way to Broken Hill. Yay!
No coffee stop on the way though, unfortunately, as you'll see shortly. So this is a stop at Coomber Truck Stop Roadhouse. Wiki Camp said you can stop here for a coffee. But you can't. Everything's closed because of COVID.
COVID killed it. Right, look at it.
This is interesting. Look, the last fuel price was 159.6. So my guess is that was 12 maybe longer, 12, 15, 18 months ago. And you know, there are the remnants of what was a coffee stop, but isn't any longer. About 130 kilometres to go to Broken Hill, so a nice easy hour and a half and we'll be there.
Well, we're back at last. Broken Hill. I love Broken Hill. I hope it lives up to my expectations again. Australia's first heritage listed city.
Jill was curious as to why Broken Hill was Australia's first heritage listed city, so she's been doing a bit of Googling.
So forgive me if I read from the internet, but perhaps you'll understand it better. The listing recognises the significance of over 130 years of continuous mining operations, its contribution to technical developments in the field of mining, its pioneering role in the development of occupational health and safety standards, and its early practice of regenerating the environment in and around mining operations.
So there you have it.
Do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to do?
I remember the first time I saw it, we were on the bus tour, and I said, oh, I want to get off, I want to take photographs. I feel the same today.
I think about you all the time. Looks like
Captivating.
Captivating.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the right word you would normally use for something like this.
It's very evocative
Powerful,
of a
isn't it?
bygone era.
Yeah, but why am I attracted to it?
Well, we come from an industrial...
Yeah, I know, that's why I could be. But it's not like any family that was miners.
do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to do? No, you couldn't stand tall. So why didn't you call? So many years has gone by, but I think about you all the time. Looks like you're changing and all, but why didn't you call?
This leads into the wall of remembrance of all the miners who've lost their lives. Dating back to 1885, I think.
Can you feel me?
This is Junction Mine, Brown Shaft. We have been here before. Jill claims she's forgotten it, but I can assure her we've been here before.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Wednesday morning. 8:30 a.m. 8:35, I think.
8:35. This is Junction Mine, Brown Shaft. We have been here before.
is Broken Hill, and it's coffee time. Except we've just had our coffee and we drank it pretty quick because it wasn't very hot.
No, it was very cool actually.
So I'm not even going to rate it. It could have been nice, I think. But anyway, today we're going to look round different places, museums, some of the old buildings in Broken Hill, and we'll see what there is to explore.
We'll catch you later.
Bye.
So this was the big picture gallery that we had heard a lot about and we went to see. It took us about 30 minutes to walk round it, and apparently it took the original artist Peter Anderson about 2 years to paint it, so I'm not sure we did him justice with our cursory walk around. What do you think?
There were people in there who did less than us.
Yeah, there were people there who were...
We stayed a while, really. I thought it was different. It was very, very different. It was impressive. It's hard to perhaps grasp as a viewer on this video what it was about, but there was the platform which you stood on, and then you looked the whole way around you and you could see the landscapes.
It was 100 metres long, the painting, and 12 metres high. There are lots of art galleries in Broken Hill, and the Pro Art Gallery is one of them. So we'd heard about it from previous episodes of YouTube videos we'd watched, so we went to see it. What did you think of it, Jill?
I've never been to so many galleries.
Yeah.
It was quite impressive. I didn't dislike his art, and some of it I thought I really liked it. But it was different. But art is art.
Art is art. Art is something that's always gone over our head. I have to confess to that. I quite enjoyed these paintings that we're looking at now because they were actually more realistic. I'm still trying to recover from the Mona Gallery in Tasmania a few weeks ago, which is art, so this is much more my style of art. But yeah, even so, it was a challenge to spend a good hour in here.
Milk bar. It's a 60s, what do you say?
60s, 70s,
theme.
yeah.
No, 60s I think.
Okay.
Theme milk bar. So we've come to a milk bar and I've ordered hot chocolate and Pete's having a latte and we're having a toasty sandwich to join that.
I don't think lattes existed in the 60s, so I'm not sure how that fits in with the 60s theme.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you.
Thank you very much. And that was the cheese and tomato.
So this is the first. We're eating toasted with a knife and fork.
What's going on?
Cheese and ham toasted with a knife and fork.
You try to eat yours then, without a knife and fork.
Sorry, we should have had a waffle.
So I was really looking forward to going to see this Royal Flying Doctor Service museum, because it's an active service that's so necessary in the outback.
It was difficult to get a grasp of just how extensive the service was because it was all a bit bitty. It was a working Flying Doctor's service, so there was exhibits and there was also actual real-time activities taking place, so it was a bit bitty, but yeah, it was very interesting.
It was fascinating to think that it had started with one man and a camel. Well, possibly one man and more than one camel.
It was a very, very, very windy day when we decided to go to Silverton. That probably added to the atmosphere of the original outback town. It was dusty, the sand was blowing everywhere, and as you can see, there was not a lot of buildings, not a lot of activity. It's turned into a sort of art gallery now, sort of, like a home for random lost artists with a few old buildings. But yeah, it was very, it was very interesting. But the wind really did get in the way. What do you think?
Well, it was interesting in that it was the first mining area.
Yeah, this was where, this is apparently...
It wasn't Broken Hill, it was Silverton.
Silverton, that's right. This is where BHP was born. It wasn't called BHP then.
There were 7 guys in the syndicate, wasn't there?
But,
and then it's been used for a couple of dozen film sets in this area for films, but also TV series have used it for the area and even adverts.
And of course it's quite famous for hosting the film Mad Max, and there is in fact a Mad Max gallery there, we shall see in a moment.
Which one man from Yorkshire came out to live there and set it up.
Set up the Mad Max gallery.
So before we left Silverton, we called in at the cemetery. We hadn't been there before. There were some very, very old graves. Very young children, young people. And then there were some newer ones actually, so it's obviously still used.
And again, it was very, because of the wind blowing the dust and the sand around, it was very evocative of what this place must have been like. I mean, you can see the wind blowing the trees and the wind blowing the plants around. We were hanging onto our hats and it was blowing us over as we were walking. But yeah, it was, as Jill says, very evocative, and it's very sad to think of these people dying in their teens and 20s and 30s.
And younger.
And even younger. But that was the end of our trip to Silverton, and we headed back home to the caravan after that.
Cause we're both so unashamed. We're not playing any games.
So, continuing our sojourn through the art world, on another windy day we went to see the famous Broken Hill sculptures. And if you think we understand nothing about art, we understand even less about sculptures.
But to be honest, there were plaques at the side of each sculpture that explained what they were, which is very unusual, I think, in the art world. But anyway, the descriptions were very helpful, and you could actually see then what they were supposed to be.
Well, you're better than me, Gungadin, because I couldn't see what they're supposed to be.
Oh my God. The sculptures came from all over the world. One of them was Mexico, I think. I can't remember the others, but yeah, they were all varied. One of them was from Australia, but I can't really remember.
It was a very quiet morning. There was just me, Jill, and millions of flies, and the wind blowing the flies into our mouths. So Yeah, we sat down and had lunch in the car afterwards and recovered from being windblown, and in my case recovered from having my mind blown by these sculptures.
The Living Desert.
Yeah, the Living Desert it was called. It was good fun, but yeah, not necessarily my cup of tea. So this is the end of March and the end of our March video. We're off tomorrow, we're leaving Broken Hill and we're going to Peterborough, finally resuming the part of the trip that we'd always planned to go to South Australia and the Eyre Peninsula. But it was a good trip.
We made a slight detour at the beginning. Mornington, home, and then back on the road again. Going a different route to what we'd originally planned. But soon we're going to be back on the route that we did plan.
So we'll catch you next month, and don't forget to
subscribe
and like. See you later.
Bye.